Hi, welcome again to my third lesson on my channel. So today we are going to learn about project planning basics. In project management, we normally should have a plan. Let me start by defining what project planning basics it all means. So this is the foundation for successful project execution. It involves objectives, tasks, timeline, resources, and risks to ensure that the project meets its goals. So during this process, or maybe during this foundation, for the execution to take place, I had mentioned on my previous lesson that we should have, once you're introducing a project, should normally have objectives and what are the goals, or I could say. So our objectives for implementing this, there are blah 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 blah. So for the blah 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 to be achieved, we need to have tasks. So for blah blah one to be achieved, we have to do task 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And those tasks should have a timeline. And those timelines, who are to implement the proper resources. So we should ensure that the resources that are doing implementing these tasks should have the skills. Yeah. So once these have been taken up, that means we can plan for our projects and for proper successful project execution. So we normally have key components of project planning. There are 8. That is, we have to define the project objectives, then identify the project stakeholders. You have to create a work breakdown structure, develop a project timeline, allocate resources, identify risks, and create a risk management plan, communication plan, and we should also create at the end we should create a proper project plan document. So start with the definition of project objectives that I said earlier. So these objectives should be SMART. When I say SMART, I don't mean the objective being smart. SMART as a word, that is SMART. So S stands for specific. When I mean specific, that means you should have a specific goal on what we are to achieve. Then M stands for measure. So for you to know that this project has been successful or not, you should be able to measure it. So what was it at the beginning and what is it at the end? So you should have the baseline on what was the situation before and what it is now for you to measure, and what are the achievable, what are the achievements that you have so far gained. So I've gone to the third one. The third, it's A, which is achievable. That means have to be achievable. One of the objectives that we should be something that it's achievable. We shouldn't be something that cannot be achieved. So it should be achievable. Then R stands for relevant. It should be relevant. So we shouldn't, for a project to be successful, we shouldn't just introduce a project for resources, just keep the resources busy. But it's something that should be relevant to a society or community. Yeah, and lastly, it's timeline. So we're being emphasized timeline in everything that we do, timeline. So for the objectives that we have, those that are standing on the SMART, that means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timeline. So the second component of project planning is identifying project stakeholders. So once you're introducing a project, you should also understand who are the stakeholders. I'm doing this project for who? So those beneficiaries are our stakeholders. Those who are going to be the final users of the project, those are our stakeholders. So we should normally engage our stakeholders early to understand their expectations before implementing the project. So they're normally these challenges are always there. So once these stakeholders are not giving an explanation information on what will be implemented or what will be the benefits of projects. Maybe others could not provide maybe cooperation. You miss cooperation because you don't know what you guys are doing. But once once they have engaged from the beginning, that means they could cooperate with you guys for you to all achieve the same goal that you are to initiate. Thirdly, you have create a work plan, a work breakdown structure, we call WBS. So for once the project has been we are to initiate a project, each piece or each work represents a specific task and what are the deliverables. So we should break those tasks, and for each with the respective or specific tasks and its deliverables. So the fourth one, we have develop a project timeline. The task that we have developed from the work breakdown structure, we need to also have the timelines. So sequence the tasks in order to be completed. So once we have, there's some tasks that they can be done without the other to be completed. There are those that go sequential, that I can do this at the same time doing this. So yeah, that has to be planned. Another item is allocate resources. So on allocation of resources, you have to identify the requirements. What are those requirements? So we have the people, we have the tools. So for your project before implementing a project or before executing a project, you should understand and should know who will I be engaging on my project, and each of them, or each person should have a task to implement when you guys kick off a project. The tools, these could work as a supporting items for you to during the project execution. So have software, it could be a software equipment, it could be a technology needed for you to use when implementing this. The sixth one, we have to identify the risks and create risk management plan. So for every project that has to be executed, there are some risks. It could be internal risks and external risks. So internal risks can be within your capacity, and those external ones cannot be, something like floods, earthquake. So those are items that they are beyond your management. So for normal or like a small projects, the common skills we have maybe delays in delivery. It could be budgets overruns. It could be miscalculation or miscommunication among the team members. So these are the common risks that we normally have in our daily. Yes. So risk mitigation strategies should also be on its way. So you should have a backup plan. So when plan A fails, or maybe when implementing plan A, so this risk will mitigate it at this time, and at this end or at this way. So we should have clear communication channels to every stage that you're going within a project. Members should be updated, and regular check-in to identify what are the issues maybe are coming up, what are the issues that have been cleared. Yes, for the stakeholders and members and management to all know what's going on. Another item is communication plan. So how you also have to know what way of communication will be used. It could be maybe through online meetings, could be physical meetings, maybe those meetings could be daily, could be weekly, maybe monthly, for just to provide updates to your members. And also maybe, and the last one, it's create the document plan. So I'd say the project plan document should include all the 7 items that I've just mentioned. That is, objectives should have scope, should have schedule, should have resources, should have the risk management plan, and also communication plan. So once you have that document, then you're good to go to implement your project. So to avoid going back and forth, once everything is on plan, this project plan document will guide you well, since you've already touched every end um, for your project to be implemented successful together with with the help of your stakeholders. So in case there is anything that you have not understood, please comment on my channel, or in case if you need any help, please reach out to me. I'll be very happy to assist you. Thank you, and see you on my next lesson. Thank you.